Welcome back to another one of my very disorganized rants. Today I wanted to talk about the state of music, in 2025 specifically, because I don't know if anyone else has had this similar thought, but it just feels like the overall state of music this year has been very, just not even underwhelming, just disappointing, which is strange to think because I look back on some of the music I listened to and it was actually very good, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that 2024 was such a great year for music, and you had so many people dropping albums that when we transitioned into 2025, it was such a letdown, and it felt like a drought, even though people were dropping music and things were being released. You know, for me, my favorite releases so far have been the Addison Rae album, which I'm shocked to even say that, the Pink Panthers mixtape. I liked Lady Gaga's album, and some other things amongst that, but there's been a lot of things that have dropped this year that I just feel very underwhelmed by or outright hated. For example, Jojo Siwa and her inability to release a good song. I can't believe that she recorded that cover and thought it was a good idea, but anyways. And then Alex Warren, I've heard too much of him and his music, and I'm bored and equally irritated. Because Ordinary is such a infuriatingly bland song. Another horrible release that I heard was the song 1965 by Jesse Murph. When I say it's one of the worst songs released this decade, I mean it. I'm shocked that her label approved this and allowed it to be released, where she quite literally glamorizes abuse and domestic violence. And I know people give Lana Del Rey a lot of crap for how she, glamorized abuse in the earlier half of her career, but it was never this bad. And even then, there was some level of self-awareness to what Lana was doing. Here, it's very disconnected. It's trying to be satirical, but it just comes off insanely tone deaf. On top of that, we have Morgan Wallen haunting the charts with his presence. And here's the thing. I don't just dislike his music because I dislike him as a person and because he's controversial. I just genuinely think he's not interesting, nor is his music. I've heard his songs. They all sound incredibly boring, especially for country music, a genre that I don't care for, and I don't get what people enjoy about it. Marina dropped her album this year, which I was very much looking forward to, but I felt quite disappointed by. I don't know, I was really looking forward to it, and I felt like it was kind of a letdown. Sabrina's dropping this week, and I don't know if I'm gonna like it, because it seems like this is a more country-oriented album, and like I said, that's not a genre I care for. I do hope that Olivia releases this year, because I think her releasing an album will help shift everything. And I also want Beyonce to drop Act 3. I was shocked by how much I liked Act 2. And I don't care who says what, I do think Cowboy Carter is a country album. I'm not going to argue with anyone on that. And so yeah, I hope that we get to hear about Act 3 soon. I know Taylor is announcing something. I know she's dropping an album in October. Also, I know the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack has been going viral. And if I'm being very honest, I just think it's somewhat overrated. But then again, I'm not a K-pop fan. That genre doesn't really appeal to me. So maybe that's why I don't really connect with it the way others do. Also, Lorde dropped her album, which I didn't have high expectations for it. So when it dropped, I thought it was fine. I still do. I don't think it's anything to write home about, if I'm being very honest. There's good tracks. It's fine. It's better than Solar Power, I'll say that much. Petras is beginning the rollout for her new album as well, and it seems like a good pivot from, Feed the Beast and how much of a disaster that was, and so I'm looking forward to that. The songs have been good so far. I know Doja Cat's dropping in September. I'm looking forward to that. I liked the single Jealous Type. I'm also looking forward to Jade's debut album that's dropping in September as well. Shocking one that wasn't on my radar, Zara Larsson's Midnight Sun album. I really enjoyed the singles, but we'll see when the album drops. I'm kind of shocked that she dropped it in the beginning of fall. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'd be more appropriate to drop in like midsummer, but that's just me. But overall, there have been very few times where I felt really excited by music this year. I feel like most of the releases that have happened are just kind of like they come and go. Also, I need the whole country wave to end. I don't care for it. I think it's ruining the music, kind of. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.